Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hi, my name is Gigi Fusco-Mies. I'm the Director of Community Relations for 3D Theatricals, and I welcome you to this session of 3D+U. We're all in this together as we're at the stay-at-home order. We might as well dance, right?
Absolutely.
So I am so thrilled today that our instructor is Leslie Stevens. Leslie is a performer, writer, teacher, and choreographer. She is a Broadway veteran who originated the principal role of Anne in La Cage aux Folles and an ensemble role in Victor Victoria with Julie Andrews. She has performed her way through 30 years of professional theater on both coasts, most recently playing Ariel in Grumpy Old Men and Roxy in Chicago. She has been acknowledged with acting awards for her stage and film and danced as a soloist for Hubbard Street Dance Chicago and for over a decade with LA Opera. In 2017, Leslie made her I can't speak. Your
Choreographic?
debut with the LA Phil at Walt Disney Concert Hall, creating an original ballet for the opera, Nixon in China. She has created original choreography for here. We're lucky recipients of that at 3D Theatricals, award-winning productions of Into the Woods, Sideshow, Full Monty, Hello Dolly, Oklahoma, and Secret Garden. Leslie taught for many years at AMDA LA and is currently on the dance faculty at the Studio School in Los Angeles. She guest teaches at colleges and festivals internationally. Everybody, we're so lucky to have Leslie Stevens. Take it, Leslie.
Hi. Thank you guys very much for chiming in and joining this kind of sort of this new form of like education, community sharing, making sure we don't go insane together, which is great. So this is my living room and I've moved my self-tape curtain in front of the, anyway, we're all doing our best. So I thought today what we do is really for the focus being on learning choreography at auditions. I know that that's a big challenge for a lot of musical theater performers who maybe their dominant skill is music or their dominant skill is acting. And, even if you're leading as a dancer, there's a lot of pressure on you to learn quickly in an audition situation. There's no one way to learn, but I would say, just to preface all of this, that the more you can get to know yourself, your own brain and your own eyeballs, how you process, because it will be unique to you. I'm going to suggest some certain tools and reference points that I think are helpful, but you need to translate that through you, like how you learn. Like if you're really a person who I need to anchor it in a number. So that's, you need to know that about yourself, that however the material is given, you need to make sure to make that as clear as possible to yourself or ask questions. You might be somebody that's more accent driven, like that's really how I make sure that I can learn a sequence of movement by learning it's that accent and then it's this accent. Then that's part of how you learn. So I just encourage you to continue to sort of notice there's no wrong way how your brain works because it's your brain, but it's up to you to be able to wrangle it and to translate with the people that you're collaborating with. Does that make sense? Yeah, sort of. So, so it's not to say, oh, you shouldn't think that way. If your brain sings little songs to learn choreography, that's great. I'm a little song person too. But you need to know that some people will be all numbers. Some people will be phrases. Some people will be based in lyrics. Some people will just be about impulse and shape. And, you know, so you have to take your first language of learning movement with you and make the connection, you know? Great. So to start today, I thought we'd just do kind of an easy, fun warm up and then talk about a few ideas that we can apply to learning movement. And then I thought we'd learn a chunk of Le Jazz Hot from Victor Victoria, which can be fun. I'm probably not gonna wear shoes because my heels, I think, are too slippery and jazz sneakers are too sticky because I'm on carpet. But whatever you're on, there's not a lot of turns in this, so I don't think that'll be bad for the toes, you know? Okay, great. First thing I want to do is we're going to stand parallel. I'm going to back up a little bit here, but I'll ask you guys to speaker view. Yay. Give me a thumbs up if you can see, right? And still hear me. Okay, so I'm going to back up so you can see my body. Hello. Okay, pretty good? Okay, great.
Real good.
Okay, great. So, so we're going to start parallel, which means that the toes are facing forward and you're lined up right over your ankles. If your ankles tend to collapse towards each other, don't. Pick up the little balls on the inside of your ankles like you have suspenders. So you want to feel like you just slide easily right with your knees over that part of your feet. Great. And what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to establish good integrated posture here, and then we're going to use that for all of our warm-up. So first thing I want to do is, here I'm always getting naked, but I want you to, can you make this little heart shape right here over the front of your body? So this is like the bottom V of your pelvis. And normally we all stand a little bit this way. Now the idea is not to shove it or grab everything, but you want to take this and you just want to like kind of, I saying if it was covered with sequins, you just want to take it to the light so it sparkles. You just want to let that come like you're pressing it forward. Yeah. And at the same time you do that, you're going to take this one in the back and let it stretch down. So not shoved, just down. Yeah. Good. So we've got that going on. Then take your hands right here where the front of your hips are and open it like when you make a picture big on your phone. Whoop. And then do it right here. Good. Now take that same thing to your belly button. Go to the side of your waist, just behind the seam of your shirt or your t-shirt or your something, and do that right there on just the back edge of your waist. Whoop. Yeah, so that's what you're making length here, and that's your parallel shape. We're going to do one other thing. Take your toes all the way up, put them down, and then you're going to let your weight come over the front of your feet. I'm going to turn sideways. So pick your toes up, put them down. My heart is up, this is down, this is open. I'm just going to let my weight come over the front of my feet, from my sit bones, and come back. Not from here, but from my sit bones, and come back. Good. And then plie. Feel your heels on your sit bones, and stand up. Great. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start our exercise. We're going to take our toes up, put them down, take our weight forward, take it to the center, plie, and that's bending, letting your knees slide over the center of your ankles without making a crease here, and then standing all the way up. And we'll do that twice. Toes up, toes down, take the weight forward, come back, plie, and standing all the way up. Good. Then we're going to take our hands like ski poles, and we're just going to go right through that plie shape. Plie and back up. Plie and back up. Plie and back up. My sit bones are coming under me. Plie and back up. We're going to interlace our fingers, stretch them up over our head, reach and plie without pushing backwards. Take our hands here. Then this is, you're going to tuck your tail, look at your belly button, and roll back up. Good. We're going to do that twice. So that's just getting our parallel working. Yeah, that's kind of a fundamental, just because it's not a difficult ballet position or something that's complicated or turned out, doesn't mean that it's not a real energized position. And most musical theater movement either stays in parallel or moves through and then goes to parallel. So it's worth it just to check in so we're all starting in the same place. I'm going to put on a little bit of music, and also give me a thumbs if it's too loud or if you can still hear me. All right, where isn't that? That's why. Okay. Can you hear the music? Okay. I'm going to face sideways just so you can see. Parallel, we're going to pick up our toes. And pick up your toes. Put them down. Take forward. Take it back. Right in the middle. Yay. Stand up. Okay, we'll do that again twice as fast. Pick up your toes. And up. And down. Come forward. Come back. Yay. Stand up. Do it one more time. Pick up your toes. Okay. And down. toes. Then we're gonna go. Interlace your fingers, press all the way over your head, and plie, good. Hands here, pocket, look at your belly button. Good, one more time. Keep your feet close. 8, 7, 8, and good. Just pretty slowly, with your feet parallel, but just wider than the hips. And we're just going to repeat the same. Step carefully, plie your knees right on your ankles. Stand up, come back the other way, and over. They say that I won't last too long. Foot to the floor, one more time. And I'll catch a greyhound bus for home. They all say. Last one, all the way over. But they've been wrong. I know they are. Because I can play this here guitar. Good. Great. I guess I'll talk like this. Okay. Good. So then we're going to move on to just do a little articulating through the feet. And we're just going to push through the feet and push through the feet, plie, and then push to eleve, which is going to the balls of your feet. But you really want to use what we just were doing at the beginning there. When we picked up our toes and put them down, shifted our weight and back, that's trying to wake up your awareness of your balance with the back of your legs and where the back of your sit bones and your thigh bones are, because that's what you want to use as you're moving. I find that helps keep your weight shifts connected to the ground and also connected to your instinctual awareness. I often find in auditions, people when they get nervous, they often can get a little stiff and they quit hearing the music sometimes. Has anybody experienced that? You may have, yeah. So I think being aware, this may not seem like it's connected, but I really believe it is, that being aware of where your weight is on your feet and how your hips are connected keeps you connected like an animal. Like when you're happy and you're grooving and you feel very connected, that natural connection, you can use it in an organized form, but really being aware of where your weight shift is, I think keeps anxiety from interrupting movement. So we're just going to do a little, I'll back up here. So we're going to go, I guess face forward. We're going to go just push through the foot all the way to the, there you can see. Push through the foot all the way to the toe, push through the foot, and then plie in the center. Push through the foot, toe, all the way to the center. Push, and we'll do that 4 times. Yeah. Then we'll just plie, stand up, and you're going to elevate, stretch both legs up, and then lower down without backing up. Woof, and then we'll do it left. Yep. Let's do it twice on straight legs, and then twice where you plie at the bottom and stand up, and then plie on 2 feet and push. Good. Then we're going to do the same thing with our legs turned out a little bit. So the idea is never to take your feet behind you, but just to open up the front of your hips and use the back of your legs. We'll go through the foot to the toe, through the foot to the toe, then we'll go through the foot and plie, through the foot and plie, and then we'll plie on 2 feet, stretch the legs, stretch your hips upward and down, and we'll do the same thing on the left foot, just getting a little bit grounded. Okay, great. There's a plan here to all of this. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. So let's start in parallel. Why don't you take your right foot and I'll start left. Here. Push. Down. And other foot. Push. Now we're going to plie at the bottom. And. Good. 2 feet plie. Let's now keep going the other way. And go. Same thing left. Push. Down. much. Good. Take your why don't you start on your right and I'll start on my left. Here we go. 7, 8. Push. Just to the side. Push. Stand up here. Good. 8. Good. 2 feet. Move your hips up. Hips on somewhere underneath you. Lower, lower. Okay, I'm going to put left for you. Push down on the leg you're standing on. Good. Good. 2 feet. Yay. Stand up, back leg. Good. Move your legs for a second. Great. Now we're in the second position here. We stood before in parallel. This is really legs coming out, but really just take your feet to the corners. We're not trying to make some extreme balance. Good. And just let your knees slide. Right over the ankle. Good. Just feel where your weight is there. Good. We're going to just shift our weight. Shift our weight. All the way to one foot. Come to the middle. And shift your weight to the other foot. Smooth transition of weight. Right to our hands. Good. Let's try this twice as fast. Feeling the smooth transition. Good. Good. Straight parallel. Just push the weight on the ball of foot and roll through. Other side. Push through the foot. Roll through the foot. Roll through the foot. Good. Now into the arms out of elbows. The opposite arm is rolling. Push to the side. Good. This last one, we're going to go all the way over. Let your head hang. Shift your weight. Come back to the center. Bend both knees and roll yourself up. Good. One more time. Turning the legs out. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Twice as fast. Turn parallel. Through the foot. Through the foot. Good. Pushing both to the front and the back. And all the way over. Good. Let your head hang. Shift your weight. Come to the middle. And roll yourself up. Okay. Great. So one of the ideas here, I just want to talk for a second, that I think is helpful when you're learning movement. And if you have a fair amount of training, you're familiar with this, but I call a couple of ideas is second position and fourth position. Second position, whether you're parallel or turned out or any combination, second position is always, I'm going to back up here, with the legs on either side of your spine. They can be turned out. They could be this way, they could be that way, but you're still in a second position. I could be on an angle, but they're still on either side of my spine. If I'm doing a step like this, I'm essentially going through second because I'm going to the side, either side of my spine. That's the second. So I think it's helpful to, as you're learning choreography, to be able to put a pin in it and say, ah, I get to second, or this is moving through second position. One of the other one that gets used most often in theater is fourth. Fourth position is one leg forward and one leg back, and your spine in the middle. Or this way. In ballet, it's often this kind of shape with the legs turned out, but they could even be turned in. It's still that one leg is forward and one leg is back. So if I changed fourth, fourth, second, fourth, fourth, second together, it gives you a reference point of where your legs are in relation to your spine. So that's one idea is, are you in fourth or second, which is most common, or with the feet together? The other idea is where are you facing with your chest and your hips? So when I'm looking at you, I'm facing straight forward. In ballet, it's called en face, straight forward. But I could take this to the corner, and I could take this straight profile to the side. I could take it all the way upstage or to an upstage diagonal. But it's really helpful to recognize where the hips or the shoulders are facing. And then you add on that, whether you're in second or fourth. So as we're learning with choreography, I'll just call your attention to that. But those are some things about the shape of your body and then where your body is pointing in space that can help you start to recognize. Does anybody have any questions about that particular thing? Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. People have different kinds of training, so I just wanted to put that out there. Great. Let us do one more warm-up thing, but really short, and then let's learn some choreography. Sweet. Okay, great. So this I'd like to do is we're just going to stand, we're going to start here, and we're just going to push the foot out in a tendu and bring it in, and then dégagé, and then bring it in and out and in. So tendu, where you just stretch it on the floor to where your toe is touching. Then you do the same path just till the toe is off the floor. Then we're going to bring it in, we're going to stretch it out, we're going to bring it back in and put it down, right? So we're going to do that just to the front. Sorry, in, out, in, down. And then let's do that to the side, touch it, dégagé, in, out, in, down, touch it, dégagé, in, out, in, down. And we're just gonna do that because we have a little bit of those shapes going on. Great, then after that, I'd like you to just follow me on a weight change exercise, and then we'll learn some choreography. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Standing parallel. 5, 6, 7. Right. We're gonna go. If you start with your right, I will start with my left with you. 5, 6, 7, 10. Out. In. Dégagé. In. In. Out. In. Down. Down. Out. Dégagé. In. Out. In. So let's do it all now. Good. So I want to go ahead and start to get into a little bit of choreography, and then we'll talk about some other ideas. So one of the other things I would say, besides knowing your second and your fourth and being aware of where your hips and shoulders are in space, corner, front, profile, is to look at the difference between crossed and open. In ballet, that's called la croisée or effacée, but for our purposes, there's a fair amount of that in this choreography. So if I am facing the audience, if I take a step with this foot, I am crossed. If I take a step with this foot, I am open. If I'm starting open, cross, cross, open, cross, cross, you can learn it by numbers, but it happens often in quick footwork. You only have 2 legs. So you always have a 50-50 shot. But the pictures that they make are very much dependent upon whether it's an open line facing the corner, a cross line facing the corner, a crossed line facing the profile, an open line facing the back. Do you see what I mean? It's simple shapes, but if you can also incorporate in your understanding, I know you can't see my head, the idea of open and crossed, right? It's good. So we're going to take the kind of like whisper chorus part of the jazz hot. So let's say we've come together in a little clump or parallel. We're going to take our hands like this, yeah? And you are going to have your right hand go out first. I'm going to use my left hand, and it just flashes out, won't you? The other one goes, play me, and then they all go down, right? So you're going to start with the right, and you have, won't you play me? Then you're going to take your right foot forward. Your hands are going to come right up here by your shoulders. Jazz hot. So you're just taking the right foot forward. It's like a little Charleston. Jazz hot. Then you have baby, and that is, for you guys, it would be, it's your right hand up, and you look over, and then you come back and you change. Yeah, so if I'm facing away from you, it starts, won't you play me, jazz hot, baby. Yeah, how are we doing? Yeah, okay, okay, one more time. So I think I will, can you see if I'm turned? Yeah, okay. You hear, and you have your right foot, right arm. Won't you play, both hands down, right hand, right, both hands come up. Jazz hot, baby. Good, that's the first 8. If we learn it in numbers, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, good. Can I go on? Okay, good. So we got here 7. So I'm facing straight on Foss. This is an open position. I'm essentially in second with all my weight on one leg. Then I close it in on 8. We wait 1 count on the second 8. 2, and then we switch our legs to be a different bevel. Boom, and we stretch our hands across on the 2. So we're here, 7, 8, 1, 2. Bring it in on 3. Your hands come back just down here to your shoulder. 3. Then you're going to step to that side. 4, while you roll your shoulder. 5, 6, 7, cross 8. So let's do that phrase. We got here 7, 8. We're going to wait 1 count. 1, 2, bring it in. 3, step 4, shoulder roll. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. Good. Questions? Okay. Let's do the whole thing up to that point. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. I think we should move on that 1, 2, 3, shoulder roll 4. Wave 5, 6, start walking on 7, 7, 8, because you're going to turn on 1, facing forward. So we walked, this is a case of open and crossed. This is cross 2, 3, we're open, 4, we stay open, 5, 6, we walk, open 7, we cross, 8, we're crossed again, 1, 2, yeah. From here, 2, we're going to do a chaîné turn with our hands down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the hand can hang right down. So they're right by your sides when you turn. You turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's do all that with counts and then with music. Question? Yes, no? Good? I'll leave it to Gigi to kind of do a survey if there are questions. Okay, great. Last time with counts for this section. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Walk 7. Walk 8. Walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay here, 5, 6, and then one move, 7. Okay, good. Let's try it with music. Yeah. It's a little bit faster, of course. Yeah, here we are. That's Julie. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play me just hot, baby, don't let it end. I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm. Good. So is everybody with me so far? So we're gonna wait after we've turned. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna wait and drop. In the actual piece, you keep walking, but I don't know about you, but I'm about out of living room, frankly. So I think it would be just as well for us to wait here. And in one move, 7. Great, let's go on. Let it. She says, I can't sit. So we have, I can't, can you see, sorry. Boop. 7. I can't sit. You're gonna pull this in and take your toe from here to right underneath you. So that's a change of that shape, but that's a transition that you need. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't sit still when there's that. So you're using your toe here to be a push off while the other leg plies. Kind of
Leslie,
like,
yes,
yes.
I hate to interrupt, but we have one question from Julia, which is, do we start facing upstage?
Well, you actually face downstage. So the whole piece is here, but I'm afraid I won't be able to reverse it in real time accurately facing you. So I can do it facing you, but I don't want to confuse you because I have my right, but if you do it looking at me, it's going to appear opposite. Do you know what I mean?
So the clarification, fantastic.
So we can certainly do it once with me facing forward, but then I think it's easier for you to follow from behind. Yeah? Sweet. Okay. Yeah, so this is a combination that faces forward. It's a pack of people that come around Julie Andrews, and we're all singing an echo chorus right next to the person playing the Victor Victoria. It's really fun. So let's just walk it one time, one more time, and then continue. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually on the 8. 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Then you just keep that rhythm going, and you start to move. So we have the 8. It's 1. I can't sit. It's the 2 and 1, 2 and. You bring this in, and you're gonna pop your hands open with a palm and open palm here. I think I'm probably not showing the top hand because of the screen, but you're gonna pop this leaning forward twice, and then keep going after that. So let's do that section when we've gotten here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, roll 4, wave 5, 6, 7, cross 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Let's finish this little section. So I think another tool that's helpful when you're learning choreography is you can call it where is the one, or you can call it where is the impulse, or where is the groove. So this has so it has a release upward. That's what the body is doing. So that technically is that you're making a plie on the beat, but that's part of what you want to find is where the rhythm, how you get into a groove. So if you're waiting here, you have this coiled position and you pop the arms down, down, and then you keep that going in the legs. So, good. There's one more step that is used as a traveling step. It's very simple, but it's used in a lot of period shows, 20s, 30s feeling shows. From here, we're gonna jump on this foot and stretch the other arm across. Like it's this shape if I'm facing forward. But you're really trying to, without hurting your elbows, you're trying to send as much energy out the end of your fingers and the end of your legs. So you're really like a drummer hitting a cymbal. So when we've gotten here, still when there's that music near me, jump down, jump down. So from here, we're gonna jump on it, jump down, jump up and stay on that leg. Jump down, jump up, stay on that leg. Yep. So let us try that piece one more time. We're here. 8. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Jump down. It's interesting because the feeling is of the leg you're on pushing down on the downbeat, while this leg and these hands are hitting the accent on the same beat. Push, push, up, stay up, push, push. And that's as far as we're gonna go because we're going to run to one side to get a little bit of mileage. So when you've gotten here, jump, jump. Can you do these facing forward? I don't know what your living rooms look like. But from here, when you jump, can you come this way? Jump, jump, up, stay up, jump, jump, and take a few steps this way to your left side. Okay, good. You want to try that much with music? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Because there is another section that I would like to teach. And then I'd like to talk about learning movement quickly and answer some questions. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Won't you play me jazz hot, baby? Don't let it end. I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me. Yeah. Let's see that again. Yeah. Play it from smooth strings to the hands. Won't you play me jazz hot, baby? Don't let it end. I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me. Yeah, jump, 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 jump. Out, out. Down, run, run, run. Good, good, good. Good. How are we doing? Ready to go on? Yes? Okay, so this I think is also a tool when movement starts to get faster. Since you only have 2 legs, like I said, you always have to 50-50 shot, but that you anchor that when you have to go quickly, that it's like a left, left, and, or right, left, right, plie. You're building the transitional pieces by making them very specific, which foot is hitting on which beat. So as we just finished these, 2 and 3 and 4, 2. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left. Yeah, so you're gonna run on those beats. Yeah. So from you guys did here and you went to this side. I have to make sure that I'm flipping myself correctly. So we got jumping on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to cross right, left, right, and turn yourself. Yeah, so this is this idea of crossing and opening. So you step, the first one was jumping on the left, facing forward. One, two. Yeah, and we should all be the same direction now. We're going to do a cross step. Can you see me if I'm over here? Yeah. We're going to go. So it's kind of a variation on a grapevine, but you're going to take this foot to the front and behind and front, lean out in an open position. So from here, you're going to take your right foot in the front with your hands like they're on a table and they're just going side to side. And you're going to go right foot front, right foot back, right foot front, up. We're going to try not to travel too much because it happens twice. But from there, you're going to take your right foot to the front and back and front, open, front and back and front, open. Yeah, sort of makes sense. Now here's another element about also learning choreography is whether the movement is high in the legs or low in the legs. So in this instance, you're going to be low, then high. So we have plie, straight legs, plie, stay plie, plie, straight legs, plie, stay plie. Then we're going to walk back, 1, 2, front, behind. So let's do that little section. That's a lot of crossing around, but that's why I thought it would be good for this discussion. So we got here, after our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, run, lean, and cross front, cross back, cross front, open, cross front, cross back, cross front, open. Step, 2 right foot across the front and all the way to the back, and the hands are going across. So they're coming to the opposite shoulder, across your body, and then across your body that way. Dun, bam. Yep. And then we're just going to have a shoulder roll, walk and turn. And you want to try that with counts? Let's try it with music. Let's try it with music. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to back up a little bit.
I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me.
Questions? Or just again?
You know what? Let's do this again. We're getting close to the end of our time, but we could probably sneak a few extra minutes in. So, yes, do you want to do this one more time and then open it up for questions?
Sure, let's do it from the top. And actually, if we do it from the top, then it's only like, not even a minute. So let's do it twice from the top and then questions. Cool.
Okay, great. Well, but before we start, I just want to say to everybody, we're so grateful to Leslie for sharing her wisdom, her gifts with us. Thank you so much. How lucky are we?
Well,
how
if
could you do
we're
that?
all learning together, because I'm a super experienced teaching and running rehearsal in a studio with a mirror and accompanist. I'm not as experienced in my living room with the computer and the phone and
Well, the positive, we're getting all new gifts. We're learning a lot of new things during this time.
No, it's fantastic. So
And you're doing a great job. And I know I can see everybody. You all look fantastic. So good for you.
all right, here we go. Let's give this 2 more shots. There it is. I'm usually not the DJ. Here we go. 6.
Won't you play me just hush, baby, don't let it end. I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me.
Good. One more time. Good, good, good. Good, good, good.
Before they knew it, it was whizzing round. Baby, won't you
All right, hang on.
springs to last? Won't you play me just hush, baby, don't let it end. I tell you, friend, it's really something to hear. I can't sit still when there's that rhythm near me.
Good, good, good. So I would say just, but we can open up if there are questions, but what I say to all my musical theater classes is that almost all musical theater choreography, it's very simple steps done extremely well. Or it's very simple steps done very well with intention, and usually you're singing at the same time. So that's usually plenty. So it's simple steps get imbued with all the energy and the intention and the style of the character and the piece and the environment and what's happening. You could do the same crossover step if you are in, Carnaval del Barrio in the Heights, and it would look completely different because of how you use your hips and how you use your plie, which direction you face your body. You could do the same grapevine step in Anatevka, but it would be completely different because of the way that you're holding yourself, the declamatory stance, the way you hold your arms. You see what I mean? So it's really about how you anchor them rhythmically, where they are in space. So ask me, is there anybody who has a quick question about when they have trouble learning stuff, or what do they find helpful?
You know what, if you can physically raise your hand, the first people I see, that's who we'll get. Do I see anybody with their hands up?
And it's not
I don't.
call anyone out about difficulty, but it's just this discussion. I think actors often feel alone in having a challenge, and there's often not a good language to talk about movements because it's a different part of your brain. So being able to ask questions about movement challenges sometimes feels counterintuitive. But in working, I've also worked with the opera a lot, where they are hardcore singer people who like to stand still and sing. But that's where I've discovered some things about learning to feel your feet in the floor and coordinate it with your breath as you move. So there's a lot of tools to use. If this doesn't come easily, don't be dissuaded. Don't be dissuaded. Question, Chelsea? No?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this, by the way.
Oh my God.
Really fun. This is sort of like a personal thing. I don't know if anybody relates to this, but a lot of times in choreography, especially in an audition setting where you have to learn it really fast, I tend to psych myself out when the line flips around, like when there's
the back people come to the front people come to the back, or when you change direction?
No, like when you're facing front and then all of a sudden the choreography changes, where there's like in the case with yours, when we, I think it was like a chasse, we pivoted around before the
grapevine.
Like when you turn back from the mirror, like when you
Yes.
don't see yourself in the mirror.
Right.
Like, you know, and I was just wondering if there's any tip that you have.
You know, I think it's kind of like when you're singing and you're having to learn how to find an interval, and you're like, you just practice it. But but the practical thing I would say is that in the room there is the mirror, but there are also other walls that will not change. The wall with the door will not change. The wall with the ugly picture of the lady in the purple dress will not change. So when you there's one thing about orienting yourself in the room, and then there's orienting yourself right to left. So if we did this way, and I'm going to turn around, it's in my body with it's like right to left to your spine, or front to back, meaning stepping right forward of yourself or back. That's what I was saying about, like, it's always in second or fourth, but it's getting to feel what that feels like connected to your spine.
Right.
So if you change the front, it's irrelevant. That's still the same pattern that you've set up in yourself. So some people, and many people do have trouble when they flip things, but you may have a more like broader perceptive tendency, and that's great that you know where you are in space. See if you can kind of turn up the volume on what does it feel like in my body, right to left.
Right.
So that when you turn it, that's still, like if you were a mixing board, that's still loud enough that you can hear it.
Yeah, that helps to orient yourself from your center as opposed to like the mirror or where the front is of the class.
So you can see it, but be aware of where, like, here's what it feels like in my spine, moving to my right, leaning into my right hip, or leaning back, like, so that when you change it, that same feeling is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe try something like that. It's something that you do with repetition.
Right.
But ultimately, that's what you're going to find, is that your personal awareness is louder than the changing shape and people in the room.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Well, thank you. You know, I wish we could take everybody's questions. We could go on all day. Leslie, you're amazing. You guys all look fantastic. I'm so impressed. I'd hire all of you.
I look forward to seeing the recording of this, because I'm such a Mrs. Magoo. I can't see unless I stop.
You look beautiful. You all look beautiful. Again, thank you so much for joining us here with Leslie Stevens and 3D+U.